p.m. Eastern. I would like to welcome everybody to the Red Bear Prep Net. If you'd like to get registered, please speak your name slowly and tell us what state you're in. If you would like to monitor only, that is fine. Just let us know while we're getting you registered, and we will not bother you through the net. At this time, if you'd like to register for the net, please go ahead and do so. Let me clear with the last person before calling. First caller, please go ahead. Well, Jim, I've got two sitting right here with me that I'm going to go ahead and register. I've got Cookie Bun in Michigan as well as Damage in Michigan. If we have anybody else that would like to register for the net, please go ahead.
Hey, this is Donna in Montana. I'm just going to monitor tonight as I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but I will check in with you guys.
Not a problem. Donna, sorry you're not feeling so well. Hopefully you get feeling better. We got you down monitoring. Do we have anybody else who would like to register? Please go ahead. Well, Jim, we'll give it a few more minutes here to see if anybody else creeps in a little late on us.
Okay, that sounds good. Why don't I go ahead and do commercial for those ones that don't want to check in and they're just shy, and that's okay. So, just let everybody know, we have a YouTube channel. I post all of these presentations up on the YouTube channel. They are expanded. They have additional information, visuals and things that we can't do here on the radio. And we also record each one of the nets. So if you missed the net, you can actually listen to the net and what our roundtable produced from it. Let me break. So to get to that YouTube channel, and right now we have probably 50 nets up there, all varying subjects. Go to youtube.com/@prepnet-talk2me. That's youtube.com/@prepnet-talk2me. And that'll take you to our site, and there are two playlists there, one for our expanded presentations and one for our net recording. Right. For those of you who have any questions about what we discuss on the net or anything about prepping, we have a Gmail account, and that is prepnetch14@gmail.com. That's prepnet ch14, I had to think, at gmail.com. And just send us your questions, your suggestions, your comments, or anything. And let me break one more time. And we are looking for people to be a guest speaker to give a presentation on a prepping subject that they have done and found is worthwhile to share it. We have already had one on making tallow soap, which actually was pretty good, and I actually made some. Haven't used it yet because it has to cure. So also send a message to our email account. Let us know, that you want to do that and what the subject is, and we'll get the ball rolling to get you scheduled. With that, see if Red Bear's back, and we'll throw it back to him for possible more check-in.
Hey, Jim, we haven't got around and made the tallow soap yet ourselves, but once you do try that out, definitely let us know how that works. We're still interested in it. But we'll go ahead and check. Do we have anybody here that would like to register for the net? Please go ahead. Okay. We want to give her a few more minutes, Jim. Maybe wait till 10 after. Sound all right to you?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. And just to go back to the tallow soap thing, we have made 2 different batches, test batches, um, because there's different recipes. You've probably seen some of that. And we also found tallow balm, which is great for skin conditioning. So if you have dry skin, etc., we made some, and we've been using it since we're going on 2 weeks now. Maybe 2 weeks, maybe a tad longer. And that's actually pretty good. So you might want to, look into that and see if anybody, say on YouTube, has anything about doing a tallow balm in the different recipes. And it's could be very useful.
Well, a little bit off the subject here. This week I got the FTM 300 hooked up in the car, and I still have the 26 Rescue mobile base in the car. I'm using the 26 Rescue mobile base as my Talk2Me radio, obviously, and also I'll be using that for GMRS. And then the 300, I just got an Open Spot Pro. I'll be using that when I go down to convention. So yeah, we're finally starting to get some equipment acquired here.
Oh yeah, it takes time. It takes time. And have you thought about HF rig or HF antennas for mobile?
I haven't looked into a HF rig for mobile as of yet, but I do have a Yaesu 991A now. Going down to Hamvention, I'm hoping to pick up a pack and go style HF antenna for that rig, and then eventually I will get a telescoping 2 meter 70 centimeter antenna for it as well. But that 991A is going to be my to go radio as well as my HF rig for the house.
Okay, that sounds good. And a lot of us start out that way. We'll usually buy a mobile, put a power supply on it, and use it for base. And then it can go mobile also. And it's not a big deal to take it in and out. I mean, you can get a quick disconnect type mount or slide out mount for it for the vehicle. So all you got to do is slide it in. Well, actually, before you slide it in, hook up the power, connect the antenna, and shove it in, and you're ready to go. And you do the same thing when you come home. So you don't have to have a separate base and a separate mobile. So it can save you some pretty big bucks in the beginning.
I might have to hear you out on that a little bit more. Maybe look into what radio companies make that kind of radio that I could do that with a HF rig. So I also currently here at the house, I'm using a FTM 400 as a donor radio for a Wires X node. So I do have that up and connected to an antenna outside of the house. It's 50 feet in the air. I've already done some range testing on 5 watts, for just checking it out, and I got almost 10 miles on 5 watts, so that was pretty good, I thought. Let me break real quick here. But I've got to learn how to use my analyzer so I can test my feed line and the antenna. I want to get up to 20 watts with that. But yeah, I do have that here as well, and I'm capable of doing 2 meter and 70 centimeter on that. But hey, we'll check. It's that time. Do we have anybody that would like to register for the net? Please go ahead. I'm going to run up channel 2, see if I can rustle some people up.
Okay, sounds good. I keep forgetting to do that. Evening, Jim. Hey, Ryan. Hey, you want to check into the net? We're trying to get things going. We haven't had many come in, and so anyway, let's wait for Red Bear to get back there. He was going over to see if he could get some guys from Channel 2 to come on over here.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Ricky Rich. Red Bear, yeah, he was just over on 2. And I was like, what? Prepper Channel, I'm on my way. I'm over here. I'm going to hang out, guys. I want to check it out. What's going down? I hope you guys are all having an absolutely amazing evening. Hope everyone's well.
Hey, this is Red Bear. I'm back on the channel. Richie, I got you registered. Glad you're here, brother. Do we have anybody else that would like to register for the net? Please go ahead.
JW, South Louisiana.
Copy that, JW. We got you down. Glad to have you here, brother. Do we have anybody else that would like to register for the net? Please go ahead.
Put Ryan down.
Hey, Ryan, what state are you in right now, boss?
Missouri.
Thank you for that. We got you registered. Do we have anybody else that would like to register for the net? Please go ahead.
Ooh, me, I'm here. Mama Katie. Yeah, also map 6, same area, southeast 17. I might be busy, but I'm here.
Copy that. We got you down, Katie. And Matt, we got you down as well. Welcome in, guys. Do we have anybody else that would like to register for the net? Also, anybody in here that would like to monitor, if you would like to register and let us know that you would like to monitor, we will not bother you. Next person would like to register, please go ahead.
Mud Flap from Colorado.
Copy that, Mudflap. We got you down. Glad to have you here, brother. Thank you for joining us. Next person that would like to register, please go ahead.
What exactly are we registering for?
What happens here is you give me your username and what state you're in, and I write you down in my logbook for the net we're having. This is a preppers net. Everybody's welcome to join. I go through my list and discuss everything after Montana Jim shares the information. So that's what you're registering for, is a chance to talk during the net. This is a controlled form of communication currently. Would you like to register?
And what time is the net?
It actually started at 6 p.m., but we're still taking registration, 6 p.m. Eastern, so it's currently going now.
Hey, Red Bear, this is Sarge. I just wanted to come support your net real quick. I'm sitting out here in the shop right now. Figured I'd come in. I heard you announce it.
Copy that, Sarge. What state are you in? And I'll go ahead and get you registered, boss.
I'm over here in Alabama, brother.
Copy that. Welcome in, Sarge. Glad to have you here. Do we have anybody else that would like to register? Please go ahead.
A3JXN, Dave, Southwest Missouri.
Big Daddy Dave, lucky number 13 to get registered tonight. Do we have any other callers that would like to register for the net? Please go ahead. Okay, I'd like to thank everybody who did register at this time. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and turn the mic over to Montana Jim. He is our host, and he will be presenting us with our information tonight. So, Jim, please go ahead, sir.
Okay, Red Bear, thank you. And we are on a communications topic. It's been a multi-parter, and so let me do a real quick break here, and we'll get going with that. Break. Okay, communication mode, part 2. Now, last week we covered the radio communication voice modes of AM and FM. Next, we'll examine the other voice modes we have available to us. Now, single sideband, commonly called SSB, is the most widely used voice communication mode on the HF amateur radio band. The military still uses single sideband HF frequencies for long distance communication when satellite communications are not available. And single sideband is actually a refinement of the AM protocol. Break. To understand single sideband, it helps to know that a standard AM signal contains 3 main parts: a carrier signal in the center, an upper sideband, and a lower sideband. Both sidebands contain the same voice information, just in slightly different forms. The carrier itself does not carry voice information, but it consumes a large portion of the transmitter's power. Single sideband improves efficiency by removing the carrier and one of the sidebands, transmitting only a single sideband that contains the voice information. Break. By eliminating those extra components, the transmitter can concentrate nearly all of its power into the remaining signal that actually carries the audio. One of the biggest advantages of single sideband is efficiency, because most of the transmitter power is focused into the useful signal. Single sideband allows stations to communicate much farther with the same transmitter power compared to AM. Now, as we discussed last time, a typical single sideband voice signal only occupies about 2 to 3 kilohertz of spectrum. Another advantage is long distance capability. Break. Single sideband works very well with the types of signal propagation commonly found on the HF band, allowing stations to communicate across countries, continents, and sometimes around the world. Because of these advantages, single sideband became the primary voice mode used for HF amateur radio communication. A note on upper and lower sideband. You may hear operators refer to upper sideband or USB and lower sideband or LSB. These terms simply describe which sideband of the signal is being transmitted. Break. Single sideband is also used in another well-known radio service, CB radio. In the United States, single sideband operation was officially authorized on CB in 1977 when the FCC expanded the CB service to 40 channels. Unlike CB AM channels, single sideband on CB allows operators to communicate much farther because it is more power efficient and uses a narrower bandwidth. Long-distance communication on the HF frequencies is made possible by a phenomenon called ionospheric propagation, often simply called skip. Break. In this process, the radio signals travel upward from the Earth, striking layers of charged particles in the upper atmosphere called the ionosphere. Under the right conditions, the signal is bent or reflected back towards the Earth instead of continuing out into space. The signal can then strike the ground hundreds or even thousands of miles away. This is why stations using single sideband on the amateur HF bands, and sometimes even CB radio, can occasionally communicate across continents, oceans, when propagation conditions are favorable. A note, FCC rules do not allow CBers to use skip, which doesn't seem to stop them. Great. Limitations of single sideband. One limitation of single sideband is that it requires more precise tuning than AM or FM. If the receiver is not tuned accurately, the voice audio may sound distorted, high-pitched, or low-pitched. Another limitation is that single sideband audio quality is not usually as full or as natural sounding as strong FM signals. Despite this, single sideband remains extremely popular because this efficiency allows reliable communication over very long distances. Great. Now our last voice form, digital voice, is a different approach to transmitting speech over the radio. Instead of sending your voice as a continuous changing analog signal like AM, FM, or single sideband, digital voice converts your speech into digital data before it is transmitted. When you speak into the microphone, the radio first converts the audio into a stream of digital information using a process called encoding. That digital data is then transmitted over the radio channel as a digital signal. At the receiving radio, the process happens in reverse. The radio decodes the digital data and reconstructs the speech so it can be heard through the speaker. Break. Because the audio is digitally encoded, the received signal can remain very clear even when the signal is relatively weak. As long as the receiver can successfully decode the data, the audio will usually sound clean and understandable. One of the major advantages of digital voice is audio clarity. Digital systems can remove much of the background noise that would normally be heard in analog signals. Common digital voice systems. Several digital voice systems are commonly used in amateur radio. DRM, which stands for Digital Mobile Radio, is widely used around the world. It supports features such as talk groups, which allow large groups of repeaters to be linked together for group conversations. Break. eStar, originally developed by the Japan Amateur Radio League, is another digital voice system used by amateur operators. It also allows voice communication as well as digital data transmission. Digital voice also has some limitations. One common is a limitation called digital cliff. With analog signals, audio quality gradually becomes noisier as the signal weakens. With digital systems, the audio may sound perfect until the signal drops below a certain threshold, at which point it can suddenly become distorted or disappear completely. Break. Another limitation is compatibility. Different digital voice systems are often not directly compatible with each other. A radio designed for one digital system may not be able to communicate with other systems without special equipment or network connections. Another type of digital voice communication that is becoming more common is push-to-talk over cellular, often called POC radios. This is what we are talking on now. POC radios look and operate very much like traditional two-way radios. Break. However, instead of sending signals directly over radio frequencies to other nearby radios, they use cellular data networks and the internet to carry voice traffic. When the user presses the push-to-talk button, the radio sends the audio through the cellular network to a server. That server then distributes the audio to other radios or smartphones that are part of the same group or channel. Because they use cellular infrastructure, POC radios can communicate over very long distances, as long as both radios have cellular data coverage. Unlike traditional radio systems, they may not function during major network outages or in remote areas without any cellular coverage. Break. Now, please watch the expanded presentation on our YouTube channel for a better understanding and much more information on this topic. Next week, we will continue with the digital text modes. If you have any questions on what we have discussed here or anything about prepping, please ask during the roundtable or send your questions to prepnetch14@gmail.com and enter question in the subject line. With that, I'll send it back to Net Control.
Hey, Jim, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. You know, it's funny, a lot of the stuff you're discussing here, I actually was starting to learn as I was going through and studying to get my general. So that was pretty interesting to have that information too. So, but we'll check. Do we have anybody else that would like to register for the net tonight? Please go ahead and give us your username and what state you're currently in. Please go ahead. All right, we'll start moving down our list then. We're going to start with, well, we've got a few people at the top of the list that are monitoring only. We're going to move on down to Richie in California. Hey, Richie, do you have anything you would like to comment on tonight or any questions? The mic is yours, sir. Please go ahead. One more time, one more try for Richie Rich. Richie, are you with us, boss?
Yep, I'm here. I'm listening. Sorry. I was saying something to someone walk in my room. Apologize.
Do you have any questions or comments on tonight's topic?
No, not really. It was actually pretty interesting, and I really appreciate it. And hey, yeah, that's no, it was interesting. Thank you very much. It was very informative and made me think about some things. So, I don't know, that's pretty cool. I appreciate it though.
Copy that, Richie. We're glad you're here, brother. Glad you're here. We're going to move on down to JW in South Louisiana. Hey, JW, do you got any comments or any questions tonight, boss?
No, Red Bear, I'm good on the comments. It was very interesting, though. I know that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Copy that, JW. We'll move on down to Ryan in Missouri then. Ryan, do you have any questions or comments tonight? The floor is yours, sir.
No, I do not. I'm just here to learn, man.
Well, definitely welcome in. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Katie, how about you? Do you have any questions or comments tonight?
No, it was a little bit more technical for me. I got to do a little bit more studying to follow that, but definitely full of a lot of knowledge, and I was here nonetheless.
Exactly, and we appreciate you being here. Matt, how about you, buddy? Come on, brother. You've always got a comment for us. Get up here and grab this mic. Let us know what you got.
Well, I appreciate it. Red Bear and Jim and all that. It's for me. I'm on GRMS. I'm not really on the ham side yet, but I'm also dealing with the plumbing issue. So I'm a little busy. So I could say is the POC side. Obviously, if the towers go down, we might as well switch to the analog side, UHF, VHF, whatever you have. And in case of emergency, no matter what, right? You can use the UHF or VHF, and you're not going to get penalized for it. You're not going to go to jail for it when the stuff hits the fan. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm here, but I'm kind of a little busy trying to fix the phone problem. So I'm here, but appreciate it. Back to that control.
Well, hey, Matt, good luck with the plumbing problem there. Thanks for joining us regardless. We'll move on down to Mudflap in Colorado. Mudflap, do you have any comments or questions tonight?
Just want to say thank you for putting this on. Very informative, and I'm actually working on a CB antenna right now as I'm listening. So, and of course, I got my GMRS license too, studying for my ham.
Yeah, don't ever give up. And if you have any questions, I mean, you can always find ham operators here on Talk to Me, believe it or not. There's quite a few of us. One very famous one on Channel 2 would be Lopez. So if you've got any questions, man, just start searching around and you'll kick yourself up a ham operator. We're always willing to help out. So congratulations, though, Mudflap, on your GMRS license and working on your ham there. Sarge in Alabama, do you have any questions or comments tonight, sir? One more try for Sarge 72. Are you still with us, sir? Okay, I think he just came in and gave us a number. So move on to Big Daddy Dave in Missouri. Dave, how's it going, brother? You got any comments or questions tonight? I'm gonna try one more time for that Big Daddy Dave. K3JXN. Are you still with us, Dave? Well, Jim, I guess we got a dry crowd tonight. Do you have any more comments or any questions for anybody?
We'll go through some stuff. Either I did it really good, or they're confused, which is not. I would not put that past. As again, I'm going to beat the dead horse, guys. I'm sorry. That's the reason I put these presentations up on YouTube, because there is more information. There's visuals that make some of this stuff a lot more understandable. So, and this is a complicated thing. So I would really encourage everybody to go look, for this particular topic and go through everything. Because again, what we say today, next week, we will build upon that. So we will be referring back to prior things. And if you're not caught up, it's going to be kind of, not working too well. And anyway, let's see. I'm going to let me break here. And yeah, for Mama KT, again, that's I know it's technical. Unfortunately, some of this stuff has to be sort of technical. If I leave it out, it can really cause some confusion. Again, watching the YouTube videos will make this stuff make a lot more sense than me flapping my gums. And Matt, he's on GMRS and not ham, and that's not a problem. So a lot of the stuff we talk about when I'm referring to amateur radio can be carried over to GMRS, such as your antennas, designing things, how things propagate on UHF, et cetera, et cetera. And yes, you are correct. You can use any radio, any frequency in an emergency. And I'll clarify. Emergency is life or death. That's it. You can't turn around and say, hey, I'm in the middle of a hurricane. Can you send me some water? That is not an emergency. So I just wanted to let you know, so in case you didn't get the wrong idea that, Montana Jim said I can talk on anything I want to. Yes, you can in an emergency. So with that, let me break real quickie here. Yeah, Mudflap, yeah, you're working on a CB antenna there. So I'm not sure what you're doing. I've actually built a bunch from scratch in CB antennas when I was into that, and had the radio get much further. But again, you have to have the know what the formulas are for length and all that other good stuff. And there is a presentation only on YouTube on antennas, which sort of explains a lot of that about different antennas, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, and yeah, keep studying for that ham license. Once you get it, you're going to really like it. So with that, let me break one more quick time. Next week, again, we're going to continue with the communication modes, but we're going to start hitting digital modes. And they're a lot more than just text modes. They can do things that are just really unbelievable. So I'd appreciate it if you all stay tuned and listen to it. And of course, when we get those, we'll post those up, and there will be additional information, especially with the digital modes. There will actually be, you'll be able to hear what each particular digital mode can do. So with that, I can't think of anything else, and I'll throw it back to Net Control.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jim. We'll do a quick little roundtable session here. Do we have anybody with any comments or questions? If so, the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment. For Florida, when I lived in Florida half my life, state emergency happens a lot with the hurricanes. And I wouldn't hold the hurricanes as a low-key thing, because I've seen Irma, Andrew, a lot of hurricanes come through. Ian, Charlie, Francis, Gene, I mean, so many hurricanes. But to put on the wayside is it's not a joke. Hurricanes are bad too. So if you got to transmit during a state of emergency, you can do it. And the hurricanes are not a joke. I know you might not, you don't get them in Montana. Tornadoes are no joke either. So I'm here in Tennessee. So, but if you're under a state of emergency or you have a chance to call out whatever you could do, whatever you could transmit to save your life, yes, I understand, saving your life. But, yeah, you don't like light-footed around. You just got to do what you got to do and make sure you and your family are safe. And that's one huge thing about communications. Like control.
Yeah, let me take that one real quick there, Red there. Okay. Yeah, no, Matt, no, I wasn't trying to diminish that. I was basically giving you the lawyer speak. I know that 2-3 years ago when they had a lot of rain go down through North Carolina, Tennessee, and such, and I mean it literally wiped out towns. There were there was one ham repeater that was working. Everything else was deader than a doornail, and he was accepting calls from people that were not ham operators, and it was not life or death, and it was not a problem. So you're absolutely right. But I just felt I had to have that little disclaimer in there so people just didn't think that they could talk anytime they wanted to on frequencies that they're not authorized to be on. So, but yes, you are right. And yeah, hurricane's a big bad thing. I totally agree with you. I've lived in California. We had earthquakes. So it was sort of the same type thing. But just had to do the sort of, don't try this at home kind of thing.
No, it's all good, man. I still take hurricanes lightly. After being through, about a dozen of them, and even here in Tennessee after Helene, wiped out a lot of Asheville and 10 Mile, Tennessee. Yeah, I still take them lightly. Katrina, and just, I mean, they're definitely not taken lightly. But yeah, no, I understand.
But also at the same time, while we are currently not in a state of emergency where we would need to be able to use radio communications, this would definitely be the time to look into getting a GMRS license or your ham license and learn how to operate on the frequencies with other people. So I think that's very important as well. Instead of trying to just turn the radio on and not have the experience to be able to tune in a frequency that will work in your area.
I do agree 100%. No matter what, your frequencies, your repeaters nearby, if you have UHF, VHF repeaters nearby, know the frequencies. It's the only thing it's gonna do is help you out. It ain't gonna hurt you. Just learn them and catch your local repeaters. That's very important to know.
Totally agree with that, Matt. So, do we have anybody else with any comments or questions tonight? Please go ahead. Okay, well, we'll throw it back to you one more time real quick, Jim, and then we'll wrap her up. Do you have anything else that you would like to address tonight?
No, I think I about beat that one. I beat that one to death. And hopefully next week will be a tad more interesting with some of the digital modes, and you might actually be might be very informative about the first digital modes. It goes back a lot further than you would think. With that, back to net control. That's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested to hear about the first forms of digital communication out there. Just, we're going to beat the dead horse one last time before we let everybody go, though. If you have any questions or comments, we do have an email address that is prepnet prepnetch14@gmail.com. Again, that is prepnetch14@gmail.com. If you have a question, please put in the subject line question. If you have a comment, please put comment. Also, if you have an idea for the net that you would like to throw at us, you can also do that there as well. And we are looking for guest hosts. So if you would like to do that, please email us. Let me give a short break here. And as Jim has said, we do have the YouTube channel where Jim does do the expanded presentations, and those expanded presentations are really good. The YouTube channel, if you go to YouTube and search the @ sign, like in an email address, at prepnet-talk2me. Again, that is at prepnet-talk2me. You'll find all of our nets there, as well as all of the expanded presentations. I'm going to give one more break here. All right, before we wrap this up, I want to thank everybody who registered for the net tonight and joined in. Without you guys, we would not be able to do these nets. So participation and registering is very important. So thanks again. Me and Jim would like to tell you all to have a great rest of your weekend and have a good start to your week next week. Hope to see you back here 6 p.m. Eastern next Sunday, guys. Thank you very much. At this time, we'll turn the channel back over to regular operations.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Montana Jim and Red Bear. As always, I appreciate it. So thanks, guys.
Talking radio and talking digital next. That's crazy because I think when I was still in the military, we started some of the first digital frequency hop and frequency skip and stuff like that. It was a secure radio with secure technologies. And then I got out for a while, went back in and worked my way into radios that did TCP, IP, and connected to satellites and all that other crazy stuff before I retired. Yeah. Radio world, there's a lot of technology out there.
Yes, there is. And it keeps changing all the time. The hams, we have satellites going around the Earth. We've had those, I guess, since the 70s. And, yeah, it keeps changing, some for the good, some for the bad. But as long as you know what their limitations and, the good parts and the limitations, because every single mode of communication, every single of anything has got a good side and a bad side. And one of the things we're trying to present here is literally that, just to get people thinking so they don't think, oh, if I go get this, I'm good. No, you usually have to have multiple things. But yeah, as you've known going in, with the military, there is so much stuff out there that it's nuts.
Oh yeah, Montana Jim, definitely. I mean, I come from an era of my first part of my schooling. I remember learning Morse code. Went to Germany. Worked. I had a privy of working a Mars station, and got my ham license. I let it expire, but had that. In my last duty station, I worked with radios that were basically their own repeaters and extended the battlefield. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually in Mars Station when I was in California on the civilian side. Yep. It's definitely interesting. There's a lot that goes on, and you had mentioned, your comms were secure. We can't do that. I mean, we can with this, what we're on right now, but anything over the air has to be clear. So whether it's GMRS, CB, amateur radio, you cannot encrypt. Now you can encode, make it digital, with a known digital protocol, which means anybody that knows the protocol could listen in, but you cannot actually encrypt. You actually can't use codes to and again, I've got my lawyer hat on. You can't use codes to make things so you're trying to hide stuff or things of that nature. It has to be in the clear. So, but anyway, thank you for being here for the net.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Like I say, I'm an old radio guy from the military, and Red Bear knows me. I'm old school. I used to run a veterans network on here. I only got 2 radios on here. I got some other platforms because I'm just kind of a radio geek.
Oh yeah, I know how that is. You being a prior ham, you know how it is. Never have enough radio. I have so many ham radios, it's ridiculous. But anyway, so anyway, Red Bear, if you're still there, just real quick, those smaller mobiles that they're 100-watt mobiles, Yaesu, Kenwood, eComm, they all make those. Just be careful they have some that look exactly the same, and some of them are QRP rigs, so they only do maybe 10 watts, and the other ones are 100-watters. Get the 100-watt one, because you can always, if you want to go do parks on the air and you want to run QRP low power, you can just crank the power output down to QRP level, and so you don't have to have one radio for regular and then one for QRP.
I wouldn't even know how to work this thing if it wasn't for Jim.
Sure you would. You're the one that called, so you knew how to operate it.
Jim, you're supposed to take the compliment.
No, but I don't want to diminish your your capability. But now I'm just somebody that's old enough that's got all this knowledge in his head, and sometimes I can't bring it up. And I don't, I tell people I've got so much knowledge in my head because of my age that it's just like a hard drive. It's fragmented all over the place, so it just takes a little bit longer to access.
See for you. You're older gentlemen, not calling you guys old, but we live in a age of digital frontier, and everything's changing.
Yes. And the more things change, the more they remain the same. The digital mode, there's 2 more on digital mode. Bring out some things that, even like AM. AM, the AM protocol or mode, that's been around for over 100 years, but it's still used and it still has its place. So technology is great, but you always have to have a fallback plan.
Dad was in the Navy for 20 years, and he taught me Morse code.
Well, if this was 20 years ago, I'd say, well, you should go get your ham license, but you don't have to do code anymore for your ham license. So just have to take the written test. And the stuff they've got now, as opposed to when I did it, I mean, you can go online and you can literally take test quizzes, and the quiz they give you is actually from they have I don't know how many questions they have. They have this big pool of questions, and they make up the test from that. So you can literally take a test that would be what the FCC or a volunteer examiner would give. So it's a lot easier to study for your ham license than it used to be.
Guys, all the stuff we need to know.
Well, anyway, if Red Bear's there, I guess he left the building, so I'll talk to him later on the question he had just before the net. So, with that, I'm going to go eat my dinner, and then I have some active balancers to put on my lithium iron phosphate battery. So I'm going to do that after I eat.
Go enjoy your dinner.
You have a good night, Jim.
Okay, Red Bear. Talk to you guys later.